Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with our final Across the Timeways card review. We have the final Warlock cards to go over. I don't know how you top or farm. You just don't. You don't top or farm, but we do have some cards that look pretty spooky. This whole like shreds of time thing looks pretty spooky. Plus, you can discard some Reform stuff and destroy Reform. Like, my God, what are we doing here? Anyways, we're going to review these cards. We're giving away 2 regular pre-orders and 3 mega bundles out of my pocket. To enter the giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down description below. The one with that thumbnail over there. Every 1,000 subs we get until next Tuesday. I want another mega bundle, so hit that sub button. Make me go baroque. So let's start off right away. We just had a big Reform review. Well, if you want to counter Reform, maybe you want to play Bygone Doomspeaker, a 3-mana 3/3 rewind card, and of course it's toxic and it's probably pretty good. Battle cry: both players discard a random card. So yeah, remember Reform, that guy we just went over, where you have to play 10 Reforms? Well, if I'm facing against this card, or facing against this card, they discard one of my Reforms, I can't do the thing anymore. It's over. And they get 2 shots at it, right? They get to rewind. So yes, they discard their own card, but as we've seen in Wild in particular, that could be really good. There's not a ton of good discard synergies right now in Standard, so I don't know how much validity it has for that, but in terms of like just a disruption card, and let's say, yeah, something like Reform Lock is really popular, or I want to try and hit another type of combo deck. I hit Druid, hit like Alonius. That could be really good. And with Rewind, discard really likes that. That's really good. But yeah, you're discarding from your opponent as well, so it's pretty freaking toxic. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give this a 3-mana 3/3, a 3 out of 5, because disruption can be valuable and you can manipulate it a little bit, right? Rewind gives you a bit more chance to discard something you want to hit. But yeah, as a standalone card, it's not tempo, it's not got great stats, but in a controlling Warlock, which certainly are valid and see play, yeah, this is a card that will make sense. I would think maybe it's like a 1-of or something. I just think a card like this will see play in Standard. And in Wild, yeah, give it a 3. Like, imagine like against Hostage Mage, you hit like Romath or something important against one of those like type of combo decks. Could be valuable there too. And again, just maybe you play this in aggressive discard Warlock, right? Where you're discarding something from your opponent that they want and you're cheating out like a bunch of damage or a minion, right? Like this could definitely slot in to Wild discard Warlock. So I'm giving it a 3 across the board. I don't know if I've given every Warlock card a 3. I swear it's not intentional, but yeah, really toxic card. I imagine people will hate this card, complain about this card, and I think rightfully so. It's not fun to have your cards just thrown away. It never is, even if it has the downside of discarding your own stuff. So yeah, I expect there to be a lot of comments on that card. Next, we have a bunch of Shreds of Time cards. So we already went over the 2-mana 4/4 dragon that gives you like put Shreds of Time into your deck, right? There's more of these cards. They just revealed them separately. So first we have the Entropic Continuity, a 1-mana spell. Give your minions +1/+1. So like the old like Mark of the Lotus, I think it was called, for Druid, which I don't think that card's been power crept, and this arguably doesn't, but in some situations maybe it does. Yeah, you shuffle 2 Shreds of Time into your deck, so you buff up the board, you get some Shreds of Time, you can play that new dragon and make your opponent draw their lowest cost card or your lowest cost card and deal damage to them. But overall, there isn't a great way of getting rid of that besides, well, that's really it that I could think of. Regardless, yeah, it's a cheap board buff. I even think of like the Egg of Kelos decks, like this is another way to buff the eggs. That could be good, or just something aggressive, right? Like a zoo style deck. 1-mana +1/+1 is super valuable, very aggressive. And if you're playing an aggressive deck, I don't know how much I care about Shreds of Time. Maybe you just play this in like discard or like the Quest Warlock, right? You buff that board. That could be really good too. So, I've been giving a lot of 3s, but I'm giving this a 3 as well. I think this realistically can see play an aggressive deck in Standard, so I'll give it a 3 there. In Wild, I think it's even better, where I can just play this on my discard Warlock Zoo board, which I already want to buff, like run Wicked Whispers, although that has discard synergies. We want a card like this. This is phenomenal. They're really good in those aggressive strats. I'm gonna give it a 4 in Wild, where I think like those decks are even better and would love a board buff this cheap to buff up. So yeah, really strong 1-mana spell. We have the Tachyon Barrage, a 2-mana Warlock spell, no spell school on this. You deal 6 damage split among all enemies. So yeah, it's arcane missiles times 2 kind of, but isn't it similar to the barrage that's already seen play in discard Warlock for 5 mana? And this shuffles 2 shreds of time into your deck. So again, we're piling up the damage we're going to take with these cards, but that's a lot of damage for 2 mana. 6 damage that could go face if your opponent's got nothing. That's just a fireball to their face, which is valuable. We know how good this style of card can be. In Wild, it typically costs 0 because you're discarding that card, or typically 2, a 2 mana 2/1 that gives you even more. I know I'm talking about Wild, but it's the best comparable, right? And it's just solid. This archetype looks kind of spooky, and there's not a lot of aggro currently in the game, and they're kind of probably pushing a couple of aggro archetypes, like we saw with Hunter. They're pushing it. The Warlock stuff seems way more promising because you're just getting above cost, like stuff that, you know, normally costs 4 or 5 mana or whatever. This would probably be 3 mana normally. With, yeah, there's a bit of a downside, but if I'm playing an aggressive deck, I don't really care, or I'm Hearthstoning or whatever. So this one, again, I'm giving it 3. I think this whole aggressive Warlock deck can work, and it kind of counters the already existing really good Warlock decks in the meta. So 3 in standard. I think this is more of a 2 in Wild. I don't see it fitting into like the discard thing as much, but maybe you throw it in there for, you know, for some extra burst. But the main reason that the barrage, or I can't remember, I think it's Soul Barrage, the main reason you play that is because if you discard it, it deals the damage. This doesn't do that. You actually have to play it. And I think it's a very tight list. I think it could fit in a 1 mana board buff, but I don't think it fits this in. So for that reason, I'll give it a 2 in Wild. And then we have the Fate Breaker, a 4 mana 4/4 dragon with lifesteal, Battle Cry. You cast a shred of time from your deck to gain +3/+3. So you're gonna take 3 damage, right? You cast it. You don't, it's not like the Soul Fragment cards where you like destroy the fragment to gain the effect. You still cast it. And I think that will draw you a card. I would think it's cast when drawn, right? So not entirely sure how that works out, but yeah, you get a 4 mana 7/7 lifesteal, which is a lot of stats. It presents some, you know, healing if you need it, but I'm feeling like this Shred of Time deck is gonna be pretty aggressive, right? You're playing a lot of early, like overstated early game and buffs. Like you want to win the early game if you're gonna win with this archetype. So do I really need healing in this regard of 4 mana 7/7? I feel like it only sees play if the body itself, the 7/7 for 4 mana, is what you're really after, because you don't want to play it as just a 4 mana 4/4. That's bad. But the other like Shred of Time cards are all cheaper than this, so you're very likely to be able to proc this on curve and play it. So maybe as a shot, but I feel like it's more of the weaker of the bunch, and this isn't casting the, like, it's not actually playing them into your deck, so you don't need to play this to get more of those synergies going on. I'm not super sold on it, even though it is a 4 mana 7/7, doesn't even overload. But overall, yeah, I mean, if it does draw a card, I wonder, like, you cast a Shred of Time. Whenever you cast a Cast Withdrawn spell, it should just draw another card. So does this draw a card as well? That's not bad. It's really close to me. I'm still going to go towards a 2 out of 5. That, yeah, the lifesteal, the fact has no immediate impact on the board, other than, yeah, a good amount of stats, which could be relevant. I'm just really on the fence on this one. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in standard. I'm gonna give it a 1 in Wild, where I think the strategy is not gonna work out. It's outside of the buff, just because 1 mana buff my board is really good. Yeah, I'm gonna give it I guess a 1 in Wild. That doesn't quite work out. We have another dragon here, the Ruinous Velocidrake, a 5 mana 5/5 dragon. A lot of cool dragons here. It's got Rush, Battle Cry, cast a Shred of Time from your deck to summon a copy of this. So again, does it draw a card? I'll try and get clarification on that. Regardless, you're gonna take 3 damage, but you get a 5 mana 10/10 Rush. It's like the Oasis card from Druid would have the 2 choose what effects combined. You're basically getting that, right? And if you hand buff this at all in any other way, it's another summon. There's so many summon a copy of this. It's crazy. But yeah, 5 mana 10/10 with Rush, even in an aggressive deck. I'm liking that. That's really good. Plus, yeah, I get rid of the Shred, although I'm taking the damage. It's kind of weird in that way, but it is a lot of stats. I think it probably is more validity than the Lifesteal Dragon, which again doesn't have an immediate impact on the board. This can help you fight for, get through some taunts, push more damage. Plus, it's just a cool dragon. The artwork looks really rad all around. Again, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 in standard. I could see this whole Shred of Time thing working in an aggressive list, which again, I think Hearthstone is kind of lacking a lot of aggression. There is aggro out there, don't get me wrong, but man, it is quite slow. So getting a bit more aggro in there certainly is nice. Not that this is a super aggressive card. I just think it could fill in. And in Wild, yeah, 1, it's too slow. You know the deal, but I really feel that way. Like a 5-mana 10/10 rush in Wild is just nothing right now. That just does not matter. And the final card to be revealed or reviewed this expansion by me is Rafaam Ladder, a 4-mana warlock spell. Draw 3 cards of different costs. So we could draw 3 different Rafaams, right? That's, I guess, the idea. You can play this in a Rafaam deck. You could play 2 of these and draw out, you know, maybe you'll hit Rafaam cards, maybe you won't. Who knows? But you're going to hit a bunch of different mana cost cards. So it's 4 mana, draw 3. And I guess you could somehow try building your deck around this. Like, I'm only going to play 3 types of mana costs and I always draw those type of, you're not going to do that, but still 4 mana, draw 3. At least in a Rafaam deck, you could get multiple Rafaams is really nice. And overall, it is pretty expensive for Warlock to draw 3 for 4, even with it being different costs. They have so much draw. I mean, you have life tap and all that, but you don't really want to play mass production or whatever because, you know, they're going to shuffle in more of those. You want a particular Rafaam deck, you want to get to those. And in any other deck, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't think you play this in the discard Warlock. Maybe you would play this in like an Egg of Kelos or a Starship DK. You could consider it, but it is... 4 mana draw 3 is expensive. Like, it just is right now. Like, 3 mana draw 2 is too much, and 4 mana draw 3 is probably kind of at that level where I don't know if I want to play this. I'm gonna give this a very, very low 3 in standard. That, yeah, Rafaam deck will definitely want this, especially the 40 card deck. I'm not like thinking Rafaam's could be OP or anything. I gave it a 3, where I feel like probably gonna be a 2 until rotation, but regardless, I'll give it a 3 in standard, just barely. And in Wild, it's way too slow. You got Backfire, which draws 3 for 3. I know it's not 3 different costs, but it's just not going to be quick enough for that format. But I'll give it a 2, because card draw is still always a premium in Hearthstone, always, especially possibly tutoring kind of with different costs. So yeah, there you go. That is every card reviewed from this set. I'm very excited for Across the Timeways. I still feel like we're probably in rotation waiting room where like some of this stuff will make an impact, but overall, like the power level of the current stuff in the game, if they don't tone it down, I'm still not sure how hard this expansion is going to hit. Rotation's looking insane as it is though, with like all 3 sets this year not being like super crazy power level. But Fabled cards are cool. Regardless of everything, Fabled legendaries just get me excited, and I cannot wait to try all of them out. I'll have an update likely tomorrow about theory crafting and a lot of stuff coming up, early access Brawl. So expect a later video tomorrow because, yeah, we probably have an update coming from Blizzard. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.